President Trump is trying to switch the focus from separated families at the border to those who have lost loved ones at the hands of undocumented immigrants. ABC's White House correspondent Tara Palmieri is at the White House with a heated battle over immigration. Tara, good morning.
Good morning, Whit. That's right. There's widespread confusion from the White House down to the border agents on the ground about how to implement this executive order while maintaining the president's zero-tolerance immigration policy. It's very reminiscent of the rollout of the travel ban.
You never hear this side. You don't know what's going on.
President Trump capping off a chaotic week with another push for a zero-tolerance immigration policy, shifting focus to American parents whose children were killed by undocumented immigrants.
These are the American citizens permanently separated from their loved ones. They're not separated for a day or 2 days. These are permanently separated because they were killed by criminal illegal aliens.
Multiple studies show undocumented immigrants commit crimes at a lower rate than American citizens. The president's comments coming as his administration struggles with a crisis on the border, where migrant children were being separated from their parents. Earlier this week, the president personally lobbied lawmakers on Capitol Hill to pass immigration reform. Trump relenting from his hard line by issuing an executive order to stop separating families that cross the border illegally, along with this message to Congress.
We're also wanting to go through Congress. We will be going through Congress. We're working on a much more comprehensive bill.
But just days later, the president switching gears, tweeting, "Republicans should stop wasting their time on immigration until after we elect more senators and congressmen and women in November." The confusion on Capitol Hill mounting as his quick fix, an executive order, is being held up in a California court. The administration seeking to change a law that requires the release of detained children within 20 days. The government now arguing for a longer period as long as the children are with their parents. The New York Times reporting that border protection officials are questioning how to carry out the executive order to detain parents and children together when the law requires that children not be held indefinitely in jail. At a hearing yesterday, a government lawyer couldn't answer basic questions about how they'll reunite families or even if they'll continue detaining them, saying, quote, "That's still in flux." Dan?
A lot of questions, a lot of confusion this morning. Tara, thank you very much. Let's go back to Texas now, where we find ABC News chief political analyst Matthew Dowd. Matthew, good morning. As we saw at the top of Tara's piece, the president clearly is attempting to change the narrative here with his meeting with the families he calls angel families. Is that strategy likely to work?
Well, you know, every American and all of us have great compassion for anybody that's been a victim of violent crime. But I think it's important to underscore one thing that Tara said, which is illegal immigrants or immigrants at all commit crimes at a much less rate than American citizens, native-born citizens here. I think the president's problem here is this was a great show of compassion in a moment. But what's happening at the border is going to continue to be story after story after story. And until immigration is dealt with, that is the story that's going to take place over the course of the next days, months, and weeks ahead. So I think it's going to be very hard for the president to shift it to what he wants, because it's still going to be about the border.
You talked about dealing with immigration. For days, the president and his advisors and his family members were calling on Congress to act. Now, as Tara just reported, the president is tweeting out, "You know, don't waste your time." So where does this leave us legislatively?
To me, it's highly, highly unlikely that anything's going to happen on immigration before November, and it's probably even as high that anything is going to happen after November, which is unfortunate because this has been an issue. I mean, one thing I think it's important for viewers to keep in mind is that President Bush tried to do this, and certain group of House GOP members killed it with under President Bush. President Obama tried to do this, and a certain group of House GOP members killed it under President Obama. So I think the president is formally acknowledging that he has no control over the circumstances. But until we deal with this issue of immigration, we're going to constantly have this problem, both with criminal elements and the crisis that we see at the border today.
Such a thorny topic all the way around. Matthew Dowd, we appreciate your analysis on a Saturday morning.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.